the Daily Record Spin. I'm your host, Jimmy Clements. Joining me today, as always, is my brother and the co-host of the show, Danny Oki. Danny, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. It's a good day today. How are you doing?
I'm doing lovely. I love this time of year. I get to do lots of a cappella gigs right now, singing for people. So it's a good time. It just puts me in a good mood, and I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it too. Yeah. Obviously, jumping forward a little bit, today we're going to be discussing each of our top 10 albums of the year, and this is like my favorite time of year. I always go all out for this. I write a blog about it that I just finished this morning. Just got to proofread it now. I always take pictures of all the vinyl, post that on Instagram. This year I did a video. I go all out. So I love this time of year. I know not a whole lot of people care, but I do it for me. So
no, I love that, because one of the reasons I love this time of year is I love doing this show with you. I love catching up on like the Oscar contender movies. Like there's just like lots of fun stuff in the world of entertainment that I enjoy this time of year as well. So
yeah, I love year-end stuff. I love lists.
Same.
I love ranking things. It's just like, what more can I ask?
The podcasts are serving that right now too, especially with the end of the 25 years. Like there's lots of best of the quarter century stuff. There's lots of year-end lists. It's a good time. I'm enjoying it.
It is. It's very fun to consume all of it. So I'm excited to dive into that today. But other than that, Christmas time is always a good time. It's very snowy here in the Midwest, so it feels very much like Christmas right now. We're making our way through all of our Christmas movies that we always watch, and today we're gonna try out one we've never seen before, which is Die Hard. Never watched it.
Oh, you've never watched Die Hard?
Never seen it. And I looked at him today, and I was like, we should watch Die Hard today. I think it'd be fun. He was like, great, let's do it. So it
honestly slaps. Knowing that you love Mission Impossible and The Hunter does too, like you will very much enjoy Die Hard.
Cool.
It's just the right amount of like fun and campy and also serious.
Okay. I'm excited to see it. That's like right up my alley. I love it. It really is.
When that balance is achieved, those are the best movies.
Yeah.
Like I feel like sorry.
Go ahead.
I feel like the Fast and the Furious movies are often too on the campy side, but like Fast 5 is like perfectly balanced, and that's why that one is the most beloved. But there's like tons of examples of this.
Yeah. I really like I think it came out on Netflix last year, maybe 2 years ago. Carry On with Taron Egerton. So fun. And that's like another Christmas kind of movie that's action and campy, and it's
for sure.
So I love that kind of shit. So I'm excited to see it.
Had a lot of plot hole questions on that one, with the way the TSA system worked, but
who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Not that deep.
I just know that whenever I go through the Indy airport, that's the worst TSA experience in the entire world.
I could not disagree with you more. I think TSA in Indy is so fast.
We always get our bags held there. Nowhere else.
Really?
Like, yes, that's they always double check our bags, and then they have to run them back through that system like 4 times because their x-rays don't work. That's
so interesting. I've literally never had
every time it's
at Indy TSA. Huh. Well, we are constantly voted number 1 midsize airport in the US. So
it's a nice airport. I just don't like the TSA section.
That's fair.
Yeah. LAX, not a nice airport. Last time we flew, I had to like walk a mile to the terminal with this fucking busted foot. And it was just insane. And then when we landed back in LA, when we landed back, we had to do the same trek back. I was like, dude, this is just absurd. Yeah.
It's just too big. I just don't know why.
It's too small of an airport actually for the size of the city. So I think it should be like 2 airports.
That's my point. Like it should be like a LaGuardia and JFK situation.
Yes.
And it's not. Because like you have Burbank, but that's like a tiny little dinky
Burbank's
airport,
like an area airport.
Right.
It's like nice for us because we're close, but it's not meant to be a major metropolitan one.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Silly.
Very dumb. Anyway,
after that,
we're here to talk about our top 10 albums of the year. So exciting. Can't wait to do this.
Very excited.
Why don't we start with talking about how we felt about the year, how many albums we got to, what was our methodology for the list, kind of any thoughts about year in review. I also thought maybe after we do our top 10, we can talk about some other albums that we've seen on year-end lists that we might want to mention that we may or may not have gotten to.
Sure.
But yeah, let's start by talking about process. So do you want to start with that?
So kind of opposite of our last episode where we talked about our favorite songs of the year. This list I take a lot more seriously. This is something that I spend literally all year crafting. So my process is I have a note in my notes app on my phone that I keep all year. And it organizes all of my thoughts for all of the music that I listen to. So essentially, I have a list of the upcoming albums, so I know when everything's coming out, all of the release dates. I then have a queue of albums that have come out that I haven't gotten to yet. I then have my current ranking that changes all year. So as I get a new album, I rank it into a spot and have an ongoing top 10 that things will come in and out of. Then from there, I have tiers. So I have tier 1 is my current top 10. Then I have a tier 2, 3, and 4 and rank things as I listen to them in those tiers. So I kind of go all out. I also have definitions for each of the tiers, like based on my thoughts on it.
What they kind of mean to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's how I organize things. So this isn't really something that I sit down in November and start sifting through. I do it all year. So by the time I usually get to mid to end of November, I have a really good idea of what my list is going to be. And my list has been unchanged since I think November 10th ish. That's when it finalized. So I've been smooth sailing since then for the most part. Yep. How about you?
So I did better about that last year. Not quite as in detail as you, but I did have a running list last year.
Okay.
Of every album I listened to. At the very least, I wrote down and then kind of started ranking them throughout the year. This year, I was terrible, partly due to the state of the world, partly due to my injury and, the baby on the way. And also the state of the first 2 months or the first 2 quarters of the year in music, where I just listened to so few albums, period. I didn't feel the need to keep writing them down. So, I did a poor job of keeping track this year, and it did really affect me. I have felt for most of the year that I had a really great top 5, and the back half of the top 10 was just going to be tough. And I ended up still landing there. It was a bit difficult for me to place my last 3 albums, I would say, into this list. Not that I think they're bad. I just feel like they're more honorable mention than they are top 10 material.
Interesting.
And I would prefer if there was a few more albums that really, really shook me this year and really excited me. That being said, you listened to way more than I did this year, and
according
that is just a function of your obsession with this, and I love that.
Yes. So according to, I think my Spotify Wrapped told me I listened to 197 albums this year.
Goodness gracious, Danny.
What I have written down, I think I wrote down somewhere in between 105 and 110. Throughout the year. So I think Spotify kind of inflated that a bit, but from my memory, from what I've recorded, I'm at about 105, I think is what I listened to this year. So that's the most I've ever listened to. This is definitely number 1 in the history of me doing this. I've never listened to this much music before. And I actually kind of have that first quarter of the year to thank for that, because it was so slow in mainstream releases that it kind of forced me to go into the nooks and crannies of the music industry and really find some more hidden gems. The list I came up with, there's not a whole lot of underground stuff. It's still very much in the pop umbrella, I think. But within that, I feel like I've diversified a lot this year in terms of the subgenres, and not going for all of just the really popular releases, but trying to find ones that really surprised me or challenged me in one way or another. And that's been really exciting about this list in particular.
That's really cool. I love how much you expanded this year in terms of the types of stuff you're listening to. It's really cool.
I feel like my taste really evolved this year, I would say.
Yeah.
It's been very fun.
I also enjoyed finding the undercover gems this year, because a lot of them, our favorite artists just didn't put out music this year. So you had to go to that next layer and start to dig under some rocks and stuff. And I'm ultimately really excited by a few of these projects, and I can't wait to talk about them.
Me too.
But it was definitely a challenge, because there's not, when Olivia Rodrigo puts out an album, it's okay, well, that's just in the top 10 now. It doesn't I don't really need to think about it. But there weren't very many of those this year. So it's oh, okay. how do I navigate this? How do I feel
And
it?
there were a few of those for me this year where, you know, it's an artist that I love and respect, so they get pretty much an immediate slot because I just love what they do. But then there were some of my other favorite artists did release projects this year that I didn't care for at all and immediately wrote off.
Yep.
So, you know,
interesting year in that way.
For sure. Do we want to start with honorable mentions?
Yes, why not?
Okay. I have 3 that I included like in my actual article, but I think I'm going to shout out 4.
Okay. I've got 3.
Okay, cool. So I will start with, we'll do maybe one at a time. Just go back and forth. Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first one is one that I actually really wanted to include in my top 10, but I didn't because of its brevity. It's very short. It's 20 minutes long. It really feels more like an EP rather than an album. It's technically a mixtape, and that is Fancy That by Pink Pantheress. Absolute, stunning, remarkable record. I think it's like one of the most exciting pop projects I've heard in the last few years. I really feel like when I listen to that, I'm like, okay, we're like doing something new a little bit. It's, you know, it's got a lot of reminiscent stuff, a lot of nostalgia, you know, nostalgic elements in it, but it really feels like Pink Pantheress is kind of pushing us forward in pop, which I really, really like. So I'm excited to hear her hopefully at some point take on like a full length project, because she is such a bite-sized, she loves a short song, she loves a short album. I'm hoping at some point we'll get like a full length thing from her, but Fancy That is outstanding. That's my first honorable mention.
That was also my number 11.
Look at that. How funny is that?
I also left it off just because it was short.
Yep.
But it's so good. It's so fun.
Good. It's so good. It's one of those. Sorry, go ahead.
There's zero barrier of entry to listening to it. It takes 20 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
It ends and you just turn it back on, and then it ends and you just turn it back on. It's just so. But at the same time, I never quite feel like unsatisfied at the end of it. Like I feel satiated once I'm done. But it just, you know, it's just short. So that's pretty much it. But it's fantastic. So good. Okay. Well, since that was both of our number 11, why don't you start with your number 12?
My number 12 is Virgin by Lorde.
Okay.
So liked this album, but it just faded for me. And I really think it's the production is just not my favorite. I think it's very well crafted and interesting, but it doesn't make me desire to listen to it a lot.
It's sparse. It's very sparse.
Yes.
The production is. Yeah. It's not quite as lush as Melodrama.
No. Yeah. There just aren't enough. It's a great like little singer-songwritery album, but I just kind of want more from Lorde in terms of like the way it impacts me.
Yeah.
And not quite there, but a lot of good stuff on this album.
Yep. You're definitely not alone in thinking that, for sure. That's a lot of people feel that way about Virgin, I would say. My next honorable mention is That Showbiz Baby by Jade.
I'm really surprised this didn't make your top 10.
I know. It was there. And kind of last minute, it dropped out. And it's just because I think whatever she does next is going to be it for me, if that makes sense. This feels like we have so many great ideas and we kind of shoved it all together. Most of it works so well for me, and there is some of it that just doesn't work as well for me. It's ultimately a pretty inconsistent album, which is why it fell out. But the highs on here are higher than almost every other album on my list. Like
I fully agree with that.
Yes, the really, really high moments like Self-Saboteur, Lip Service, Fuck You For Now, Fantasy, like those songs are like forget about it. Incredible. But then, you know, towards the end of the project, I care a little bit less about some of that stuff. So ultimately that's why it was left out. But I think she is one of the ones to watch right now.
Yes, undeniably.
Yeah.
I think I just saw a video of Joe being interviewed about Angel of My Dreams and how much he likes that song.
Okay.
I was like, you know, when the other artists start glazing you a little bit.
Yep.
That's when, you know, it's going to be good.
You know, you've got something.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. So that's my next. What's your next honorable mention?
My last honorable mention was The Dream, the Favors album.
Okay. Yep.
So just liked a lot of this. Wish it was a little bit more diverse and varied, but like keep doing your thing, Phineas. Like keep making fun little projects on the side. I'm like really just digging everything he does, and I hope they do a follow-up album as The Favors. I think that would be cool.
Yeah,
like I like this sound, and I like where it's headed. It's just not quite there yet for me.
They are not together, apparently. I thought they were dating.
No. Phineas is engaged to
I know
Claudia.
That now. I thought he was engaged to Ash.
I forget his fiance's name, but
that was a surprise to me. I found that out probably like 2 months ago.
Oh no! In fact, she's like besties with his fiance.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That was a surprise to me. I actually never listened to this album. I never got around to it.
Oh, it's quite good.
Yeah, I should have done that.
That's okay. Cool. You listened to 6 albums this year?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So I've listened to maybe like 30. Like this is a very big difference between us.
Yeah. I get it. All right, I'll shout out my last 2 honorable mentions here. The first is Choke Enough by an artist named OK Lou. She's a French electronic artist. This is one that's been on my radar for a lot of the year. I've talked about it previously on the podcast. It's super mellow, very melancholy, almost unsettling at times, but just some really cool sounds going on in here. She excites me a lot as an artist, as a producer. If you're looking for something like upbeat and danceable, this is not for you. This is very chill, very atmospheric, but a lot of really great standout melodic moments too, like Harvest Sky and Blade Bird. Blade Bird is getting a ton of love in year-end lists for songs, which I think rightfully so. It's the closing track. Talk about artists who are getting glazed by other artists. Spotify always releases their like most loved artists by other artist lists. They do like a top 10 of like who are artists listening the most to. OK Lou was number 1 on that list. So she's getting a lot of love in the industry, clearly. I would definitely watch out for her next album cycle for sure.
I definitely thought this name was O'Clue based on just reading it.
I had to look it up. It is OK Lou.
Yeah. Gotcha. Thank you.
My last one is Foxes in the Snow by Jason Isbell. Again, an album that I've talked about on here before. Very stripped back singer-songwriter album. All acoustic guitar. That's it. It's the only instrument. It's that and his voice. It's very special, very intimate, very like put on a fire and, sit and read kind of an album. Just some really stunning lyricism on here. And Jason Isbell's guitar playing is like a masterclass, like so fucking crazy how he's able to make an entirely acoustic guitar record. Each song sounds so varied with just that one instrument. It's very exciting and one I've come back to quite a bit. So those are my honorable mentions.
I did listen to that recently, and it didn't make my list because I just listened to it too close to the deadline. But it is really cool. And you're right about the guitar really playing. Cool. It's very impressive. Yeah. And it's very varied. Like he finds every way to make that one acoustic guitar sound like different instruments and different vibes each song. It's cool. Yep. It feels very like live record too, like everything is recorded on a 2-track kind of thing.
I'm sure it probably was.
It's crazy. It's so cool.
Yeah, he's a talented dude. All right, so there's the honorable mentions. Should we dive in?
Let's do it.
Would you like to
go
first?
Our top 10. Yes, I'll go first.
Okay. All right.
Okay. My number 10 is Moisturizer by Wet Leg.
Okay.
This is the sophomore album from the English punk rock band Wet Leg. Originally, it's 2-member band, Ryan Teasdale, the lead vocalist, and Hester Chambers, the lead guitar player. Since recording the first album, they have added their touring musicians to the band full time, so it's now a 5-piece.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I just learned this last night, actually.
Cool.
So the reason this is on here is I like rock music. And is this album like incredible? No, but I have a lot of fun listening to it, and I just am happy they exist. I think they're fun, and I'm excited that there's like mid-tier rock acts again,
Yeah.
That just hasn't been a thing in a while. It's been like you're either like the weird like indie band that no one really listens to, or you're the Foo Fighters or Queens of the Stone Age. Like there hasn't been that like sort of in between band in a while, and I like that Wet Leg is sort of filling that gap. We need more wet legs in the world. And yeah, I just had fun listening to it. I was debating this between this and the Pink Panther S project, and I was like, well, you know what? They made a full album, and it's a step up sonically from what they did before, and it keeps a lot of their identity while also expanding it into different areas. And I wanted to reward that with a spot, so
yeah,
that's why Moisturizer's on here. Are we doing our 3 songs as well?
Yes, standout tracks from each.
Okay, cool. So standout tracks for me from this one is Pillow Talk, which is probably the most like their breakout hits from the first album, like Chez Long. Also shouting out Davina McCall, which is probably my favorite on the album. And then Mangetout, which I had to look up how to pronounce. It's spelled Mangetout. It is like a snow pea. Yeah, okay. It's a French. I think it's a snow pea, but it is clearly a metaphor for something else. She listened to the song. Sure. So anyway, that's Moisturizer. Wet Leg.
Nice. Another one I never got around to. What a shame.
That's okay. It's fun.
But women in rock. We just need more women in rock.
Yes, women in STEM, women in rock, women in the White House. That's what we need.
Yes, that's what we need. Thank you. Signing off. No, that's very cool. Also, another one that's making a lot of year-end lists. A lot of people are really into Wet Leg.
I noticed that. Yeah, I was happy with that.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like of the 2 like women in rock albums that came out this year, like the big ones, I feel like it was Wet Leg and the Haim record. I do feel like there's been a little bit more love for the Wet Leg record, which
I much prefer it.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. I love it. My number 10 is an album I never expected to be on my top 10 list. Just because I am so uneducated and embarrassingly so in the hip hop genre. It's never been my cup of tea. I've never really found much to dig into because I'm such a melody forward listener. It's always melody first for me. And if I can't get into the melodies, I usually can't get into the project. And so that's why rap and hip hop in general for me has been a big barrier of entry. This is one of the first albums I've listened to that really captures the essence of hip hop, but gives me so much to chew into melodically, including the way she, just like her flow, the way she speaks almost feels sing-songy to me. So it really grabbed me. This is Lotus by Little Simz. She is a UK rapper who really got popular, I would say, early this decade with, I think it's her 5th album. What's it called? Sometimes I Might Be Introvert. Yep. Sometimes I Might Be Introvert was the album title. It got really big in the States. That kind of catapulted her here. I think she was already popular in the UK, but since then she's released another album, and then this one is a lot more intimate. It's a lot quieter, quite a bit heavier lyrically, I would say. It's got elements of jazz, hip hop, grunge, Afro beats, punk, gospel. It's got tons of shit going on in it, and dealing with a lot of themes of like friendships, betrayal, like complicated family dynamics, all sort of like growing up in the UK, just a lot of that kind of stuff. Really heavy subject matter, but really at the like core of it is a love album. Like it all just feels like it's born out of love for people, and it's like just really beautiful to listen to. So this is not one that I'm like going and spinning all the time, just because it is a little bit heavier and a little bit more artsy, I guess, but I couldn't leave it off the list because it made such a dynamic impact for me this year. So that's my number 10, Lotus.
I love it.
Standout tracks for me are Young, which is like the funniest song you'll hear all year. She like adopts this like posh affect in it and is talking about like growing up in the UK. It's so funny. You have to listen to it. Free is really great. And then Blood is my third, which is like a phone call between her and her brother. And it's talking about like their family trauma that they've taken into adulthood, and they like kind of get into it, but it's also like it's heavy shit. But yeah, those are my three: Young, Free, and Blood.
Nice. I still have yet to listen to this one. I need to get to it.
Yeah. It's really good. I highly recommend.
It's been on my list for a long time. So
yeah.
I'll get to it
cool.
eventually. By the way, we didn't do it's a little bit harder. I mean, that's a little bit easier to guess now because we were a little far into it. But how many overlap do you think we'll have?
2 most, I would say. I think.
I think it might be 3.
Okay, we'll see.
Okay.
I think I'm looking at my list. Okay. I'll say 3 max, but I'm betting 2.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll see.
So, do you have a certain Lady Gaga album on your list?
I may or may not. Yes, I do.
Okay. So my number 9
is the first one.
is Mayhem by Lady Gaga.
Nice.
Do I love this album? No, I don't actually. Okay. I have a lot of issues with it.
Okay.
But the highs are just like so damn high. And what was I supposed to do in this year? Like we got bops from Lady Gaga, which she was serving. So I'm going to honor it. Also, this is fairly frequently on people's year-end lists. Everything I've seen.
I haven't really seen
both social media and on like publications. Like people love Mayhem. So I felt silly not putting it on here. What I like about it is that for her, this is a really like strong album. You know, we talked about her discography earlier this year. I still don't think this is as good as Art Pop in terms of a full project, but it's probably 2 for me.
It is my 2.
And so while it's not perfect, I really enjoy that she's trying to put together something that really feels fulfilling and cohesive as one project. So I do appreciate that quite a bit. And it's also cool to see her find her inner mother monster again. I feel like she's had a challenging decade or so of just like life stuff that's kind of gotten in her way, but she seems really happy now. And she seems like she's really reconnecting with the part of herself that started this whole project in the first place. And so I love where she's arriving now with some of this music. It feels like a nice blend of the maturity and womanhood that she has now mixed with that like youthful exuberance and ridiculous energy that she came out with. And so it's exciting. I like that a lot.
Yeah. It feels very healing for her. Because I think she's had a complicated relationship with that like dark pop sound that she really pioneered. You know, she's gone and done so much other shit since that time, and I think she's harbored a little bit of resentment for it, I think. And I think this was her like really reclaiming it, and it's you can really hear that in the music, I think.
Yeah, definitely. My standout tracks are, as I mentioned last week, Vanish Into You, I guess 2 weeks ago, Abracadabra, obviously, and Garden of Eden. Those are my top 3 from this album.
Okay, cool. Yes, you will hear about this later from me as well.
So, I figured.
But well explained. I agree. I concur. Okay, my number 9 is another one that my flabbers were gasted as I kept keeping this on my list throughout the course of the year. This is Addison by Addison Rae.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd put it in.
She just is like so good. Like I cannot deny it. Like TikTok star turned like avant pop star. Who would have guessed? So bizarre. I've been talking a lot about this online recently because, you know, a couple creators have really been perplexed as to why she's been getting so much love in these year-end lists. Like Pitchfork's love for the Addison album is crazy.
It is pretty wild.
Is obsessed. I just didn't expect it, but a lot of people are like, why? And so I feel like I've gone to bat a lot recently online for this album. And I think what it ultimately comes down to is she had such an easy opportunity as someone who already had such a big following to just make the blandest, most formulaic pop music and get a fat check and go live in her mansion. You know what I mean? She had the opportunity to do that. And instead she said, I'm going to make my weird little passion project that inspires me, reminds me why I'm a fan of pop music, you know, pays homage to the artists that I grew up listening to. And I'm going to recruit an all-female team to bring my vision to life. And I just think that's so special. Like, she did not have to do that in any way. It reminds me a lot of, do you remember when Harry Styles released his debut album and John Mayer was like, he could have done anything and he decided to do like this indie rock project?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about this Addison project, is just, I think the way, more so than the music itself, just how she defied my expectations is what makes me so passionate about this. But there are just like really weird, very strange, but bops on this album. Like Diet Pepsi is obviously an undeniable hit.
Iconic.
Aquamarine is so great. One of my favorite songs of the year is High Fashion. I love that song. Yeah, you know, you can hear Britney on this. You can hear Ray of Light, Madonna on this. You can hear Lana Del Rey. You know, so many influences that she just like. What's so exciting to me listening to it is you can just tell she's a student of pop music, like cares about that genre so incredibly. And I just think she nailed it. I just love this record. So had to be on here.
I love that. I wonder if coming from TikTok gave her the realization that in order to be successful in music, she needed to be her most authentic self.
Yeah.
And that if she released something that was phony, it was never going to sell. I wonder if because that is something that influencers have taught us in terms of marketing. It's like people want that interpersonal connection with people, that they really feel like they know them. And I think if you release something cookie cutter and commercial, that doesn't work now, because people are like, oh, you're just doing what the studio tells you to do.
Yeah.
And it's just like
100%.
So she's ahead of the curve for totally.
Authenticity is a huge marketable factor in today's pop climate. Like,
yes,
it used to be that you could put anything onto any artist and say, you're going to go perform this. And people would, you know, Britney Spears is a great example of this, not to take away from her success, but a lot of that, you know, imagery sound was given to her. It didn't come necessarily from her. Now she was an incredible canvas for that and added something to it that is ineffable and most people could not do. But I think in this, you know, in today's pop climate, like, people feel like it needs to come from you. Like, you need to be a writer in the writer's room. It needs to feel authentic. It needs to be your story. I think that is huge for people right now. And I have, you know, I have mixed feelings about how important that is, but I do think that she did that incredibly well on this. It feels very authentic to her.
Yeah, I will get to my like auteur conversation in a later album that I talk about, but it is an interesting trend right now. And I do agree that it shouldn't be the only thing. Like, movies have gone through this multiple times where it's like, you know, there's studio movies and then there's like the auteur director period, and then it goes back to being studio movies, and then it's but I think there's room for both, and I think we get great projects from both. And so
I agree. I agree. So my standout tracks from this are High Fashion, Diet Pepsi, and Fame is a Gun. Those are my three. Yeah. Bangers.
I love Fame is a Gun.
Honorable mention to In the Rain. I love that song. Giving me like Timbaland realness. I love that song. So,
what is it? What's the one song? Everything is everything is
Money is Everything.
Money is Everything.
Great
I
song.
like that one too. Okay, my number 8 is also a fun pop album. This is Alter Ego by Lisa of the band Blackpink. I at the beginning of the year had no idea who any of the members of Blackpink were. If you had asked me to you know, point to them in a lineup, I would be like, I have absolutely no clue who any of these people are. That's on me. I realize I'm an ignorant white from the America. But
the America.
I saw Lisa at the same time on The White Lotus, which is a show I love. And also this album came out, and I just like fell in love with her personality and her ethos and her talent. And this is the fun pop album that I needed right after the inauguration happened. So this kind of just got me through the year. It's like nothing is the matter. Like, we just have fun pop bops. And like, that's kind of, you know, this is an example of a commercial album that's just using a star to market it, for sure. Like, this is clearly an introduction to the West, as it were, of Lisa. And it's, here's a bunch of money, go try some stuff, and hopefully one of these is a global sensation. That did not happen, as far as I'm aware. She did not get the global sensation from this album, but it went number 1 in our apartment. So, you know,
there you go.
I think that's something. And I'm aware of Lisa now. So I think the project fulfilled its intended goal, which is to turn Lisa into a marketable star in America. I definitely think she succeeded there. it's definitely mining for hits. Like there are some duds on this album, and that's fine with me because the bops are just bopping, and
I love that.
I'm into a bop once in a while. So
sometimes you just need pop music that you can just like turn on and have fun.
Yeah,
and not
I also
turn your brain
Candy.
off. You know.
Yeah, I also like Candy sometimes, and Pie and Cake.
Yes, 100%. That's how I felt about an album that didn't make my list, but So Close to What by Tate McRae. That was my Lisa of the year.
Yes.
It just bops. They don't mean anything, and I don't care, but they're so fun.
It's like, but I'm enjoying it. My standout tracks are Born Again, which I still think is a great song from this year.
It is a good song.
Also really like Elastigirl, which is just wild, and Moonlit Floor, which interpolates Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer. It was a really fun dance pop song, so I like that one.
I think it was a good year for the Blackpink girls. I think they all released something this year.
Well, yeah, I'm like kind of aware of all of them now.
At the end of last year.
I think it's Rosie. I keep hearing people say Rosie.
It's not Rosé.
That's what I'm confused about. It's spelled like Rosé exactly, but this is news to me. I keep hearing people say Rosie, including Bruno Mars. So I feel like
we should probably listen Rosie. To him. Yeah. Okay, so sorry to Rosie. Let us know in the comments if we're saying it wrong.
Then there's Jenny. I know Jenny is one of the girls. The Lisa, last one is.
Isn't there another one?
I'm struggling. There's a fourth. This is the one that didn't quite get here for me.
Yep.
But I'm sure I'll be like, oh yes, I knew that one.
People really like the Jenny record. I never got around to it, but I feel like that was the one that really got the acclaim this year.
I also never got to it, which is silly. I should have, because I also like the Rosie record. So,
so maybe you're just a Blackpink girly. Maybe you just
I could be a Blackpink girly. Yeah. And I love K-pop Demon Hunters, so maybe the universe is telling me something.
So maybe this is your time. This
is my entry into K-pop fandom.
Yeah,
it could be. It could be.
I love it. Very cool. All right. My number 8 is by an artist I've respected for a long time, but have never really dove into full projects from. And this is Bon Iver and his album Sable Fable. One of my undeniable favorites of the year. Again, one that came early on and has just stuck with me throughout the whole year. I think what's really special about this record is it kind of blends his two worlds together so effortlessly. Like, he's such an interesting artist that he has like his roots are like in singer-songwriter, like acoustic music, but he also like is this weird like electronic like techno artist as well.
Yes.
And has really dabbled in both separately. Like his first album is like super singer-songwriter. And then another one I listened to this year is which one was it? 22 a Million is another one of his records that is like some of the weirdest, most experimental like techno music you've ever heard. It's very strange. And this one kind of like takes both elements and marries them and tones each of them down a little bit, which I think works really well. Like it feels so less like self-serious in the singer-songwriter avenue and so less like off-putting in the electronic avenue, and just like really makes it listenable and fun and meaningful and emotional. And I think he just did a fantastic job. It starts with an EP, the Sable side, which is definitely the more singer-songwriter of the two sides. But huge highlight, Space Side in that first part of the album is just a gorgeous acoustic song. And then it like the whole world like opens up at the transition song called Short Story, and it just becomes this like lush, like so joyful and exuberant like jazzy kind of electronic pop acoustic. I don't know, it's just like an amalgamation of so many things. Like, how many genres can I say in one sentence? And it just like every song, it's so feel good. Like even more than the individual songs, like the overall vibe that he cultivates on this thing is like so just like, oh, like happiness is real. Like maybe I can be happy. Like you said, especially after such a dark year, it's very joyful. It's got a lot of Danielle Haim. She's on here quite a bit on features, and they work so well together. She works well with everyone, by the way. Like literally everything she's on ever, she's incredible. So what a star. But yeah, their song together, If Only I Could Wait, one of the highlights of the year for me. Yeah, just a really good, if you're looking for something like really just joyful and upbeat, but also like really emotional, This is the album for you. I love this thing. Standout tracks for me, Everything Is Peaceful Love, Goat, incredible song. Speyside, I mentioned that earlier, and then If Only I Could Wait, the Daniel Haim feature. So yeah, those are my 3.
Okay, you convinced me to listen to this. I hadn't yet, but it was because I was expecting dreary Bon Iver.
No, you would really like this.
Okay.
I think you would really, really, really like this. It's really joyful. Like I promise you, it's not like self-serious Bon Iver, because that exists. And that is not this, which is why I like it so much. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, my number 7 is Smoochies by Ash Nico. This is another artist that I know you're kind of unaware of. That's okay. She is an alt pop artist, I would say. Ultimately is the genre that she falls under. Her first album was very like Snail's Pails and Puppy Dog Tails kind of, and
I have no idea what that means.
Dark pop. So in like Sugar Spice and Everything Nice, it's like the opposite of that. It's like a little bratty girl, a little trashy.
Sure. That makes sense. Okay.
And it's very dark pop influenced. She has kind of a hip hop vibe though, because her lyrics are very punchy and guttural and often just lewd as hell. And I'll get to that in a second. But this new album takes some of that DNA and gives it a lot more diversity in terms of the pop sounds that it's aiming for. There's a lot of old school Britney on this album. There's a lot of hyper pop that almost feels influenced by Guess on this album. And there's still some stuff that feels of the dark pop thing that started her. And what I like about it is that it is so carefree. She is just, the first album is kind of like mulling her deepest, darkest thoughts and insecurities and stuff. This is an album about sexual liberation and having fun and just being, it's kind of bratty. And it's fun. It's just really fun. And it's an exciting like sophomore album for an artist. That's usually the spot where you either soar or stumble as an artist. And it's cool to see her, really start to figure things out and kind of become a little bit more commercial. I just want to highlight some lyrics on this album because they are just wild.
Okay.
If you don't like explicit things, maybe just skip this part, but
skip ahead.
All right. Selected lyrics. I don't want to use my brain. Lobotomy. It feels so good. Sit on the DJ's face. Feel the beat through my puss. Good stuff.
That is incredible.
Incredible. Flick the bean. English breakfast. Good stuff. Wish I had 2 tongues. I'm a succubus. Looking for someone hung. Pink dick like bubblegum. Good one. And also thigh high, boots to the puss. I don't want a city boy scared of the bush. One of my personal faves on this album. Just great stuff going on here by Ash Nico.
I'm clutching my pearls.
All right, we're back to a little bit more family friendly content now. I might have to actually explicit this video on YouTube. So standout songs for me, Smoochie Girl, the opener, is just a really great pop song. The song Chichinya, which is a made up word that I guess is a thing that she calls her dog when she's mad.
Okay.
And I Want My Boyfriends to Kiss, which is a really fun just project of a song and just like a blast. It's so silly. So that's Smoochies, Ashnika.
I think you have convinced me to dive into
It's very bold. It's very bold and it's so catchy. Every song has a hook. There's maybe too many songs, but it's okay. It works for me.
I have a record on my list that I'll get to later that has similarly like lyrics, but I don't, nothing like that. That's next level.
And it's all so confidently almost shouted throughout this album.
Okay.
Like,
love that.
Yeah. It's great.
All right. That's so fun. I'll have to check it out. I list, how you can do like the preview thing on Spotify? Like you can scroll through like the stories of each song. I did that for this and was like, oh, that sounds actually kind of intriguing. And then I just, it just dropped off. So
shout out Sarah for turning me on to this artist, and Taylor. They definitely both were big fans and I've been to her show. So
nice.
This is what got me into her.
All right. Are we, by the way, I want you to tell me when you get to the point where like the less confident albums stop and the more confident albums
Ash Nico was probably the first one that would have made my top 10 in a normal year, I would say.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yes.
My number 7, that was your number 7, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. My number 7 is by an artist that needs no introduction, has been around forever, but I do think that this is the peak of her powers, her magnum opus, as far as I'm concerned, and one of the most devastatingly underrated records of the year. This is Something Beautiful by Miley Cyrus. I do not understand why this was so overlooked this year. We've talked about this at length this year on the podcast, that we really feel like this is just excellent Miley Cyrus music, really her firing at all cylinders and doing like kind of similar to the Addison Rae project. Like this feels more like a passion project for her, and doing some, you know, weirder experimental fringe pop stuff that, you know, isn't necessarily as mainstream, but I feel like that kind of stuff these days is getting a lot more love by the general public when artists kind of do stuff like that. So it will never ever make sense to me outside of the marketing for this thing why it flopped so badly. It's so confusing, and it's also being ignored by like every publication's year-end list. It's so frustrating. I love the interludes in here. They're wild, very over the top. I love that there's like, you know, some pretty classic Miley Cyrus stuff, like More to Lose, like is a very standard like Miley power ballad. Easy Lover is such a fun single. I will never understand why that wasn't a huge hit. Obviously End of the World, ABBA inspired, and that one was probably like the most marketable song out of this. But then there's, you know, there's songs like the title track, like what's the other one that sounds kind of like Pretend You're God is also like kind of weird art rock type of stuff. And then there's like the Four on the Floor dance hall stuff, like Every Girl You've Ever Loved, Reborn, Walk of Fame. There's just like a lot in here. There's a lot to chew on, and it feels so cinematic the whole way through. It's definitely a top to bottom listening experience, not like an individual listening experience. And yeah, this just like feels like an album, and I don't really think she's ever made that before. So, and I don't know. I've just been excited by this all year, and Golden Burning Sun has gone like quadruple platinum in my house.
That's a great one. Song. I love Golden Burning Sun.
Other than that one, my two standouts are Easy Lover and Every Girl You've Ever Loved. So yeah.
This is an album I really liked where nothing went like Pantheon for me, and so I just didn't revisit it.
I get it. I do get it. And I think ultimately that's probably what made people drop off of it so fast. I just felt like she should be rewarded for like really going there, especially after like the success of Flowers. Like she could have really just like gone and made 13 more Flowers and tried to get a bunch of radio hits. And she was like, no, I got my Grammy. Now I'm just going to do my weird shit. And I love that. I love that she did that. So
I like that too. I think it's a stepping stone to something maybe even better too. Now that she's like fully in on just like making an album. That's cool.
Yep. I agree. Yeah, that's my number 7.
Okay, great. So my number 6 is one I know you don't love, and that's okay with me. This is Man's Best Friend by Sabrina Carpenter. Mm-hmm. She's quickly just becoming a reliable top 10 mainstay for me, which is something I would have never expected from Sabrina Carpenter. And I like that this album takes risks. First of all, it was bold in itself to like in the middle of Short and Sweet's hyper popularity to be like, I'm just going to release another record now and y'all going to deal with it because that's what I want to do. And so that was risky. The cover was risky. The continued in this era of the rise of conservatism again to just keep going for the, you know, sexual positivity and the confidence that she exuded in Short and Sweet and really kick that up a notch as she gets a little bit older. I think that's really exciting. Like she didn't have to do that, but I think, you know, it shows that she has a strong creative vision. And this is kind of where I wanted to talk about the auteur stuff, because something else I love about Sabrina is she seems to really inspire her collaborators, and people like Jack Antonoff just get really revitalized, I think, by her music. And she's obviously brought John Ryan into the mix, who I think is a revelation. Some of his stuff on these last two albums have been so exciting. And also her relationship as a songwriter with Amy Allen, I think is just like, it's proving to be very fruitful. And obviously the industry loves her. She just got was it the Trailblazer of the Year? I forget exactly what the award was that she was just on.
or
songwriter of the year. I forget what it was. It was a big award that she just got. And I think like the fact that she is a pop princess and also very much the creative force behind her brand is just such a rare thing in this industry. And I think that should be celebrated. As far as the album goes, I know that it's not nearly as successful in terms of hits as Short and Sweet, but there's something about this album that actually it's a little bit more timeless to me than Short and Sweet. And for that reason, I think it might just be a mainstay for me, like going forward. Like I don't know that when I reach for a Sabrina Carpenter album in the future, I would choose Short and Sweet over this, even though I might think Short and Sweet is probably better as a project. But if I just picked it up and was trying to listen to something, you know, this has a lot of really clever lyricism. It has a lot of interesting melodies. It's got a lot of genre mashing into it. And it's a more mature and confident and sophisticated record than the last one. And, you know, for all those reasons, it just kind of was always here on my list. Like I re-listened to it this week because I was like, it feels like it's not quite top 5, but it feels like it's better than everything else. And do I still think that? And that's what I ended up with. I still thought that after re-listening to it. So, top 3 songs for me at the moment. This has changed so many times, but I'll say Tears, House Tour, and Nobody's Son, which has really just grown with me. It's such an interesting song. It's so fun and clever. You know what else I like about this album that I wanted to mention is that she's willing to make fun of herself. And I think, you know, when you compare that to like a Taylor Swift, who it probably took until Anti-Hero to criticize herself over the course of her career, I think the way that Sabrina's not able to take herself too seriously is very important. I think it will serve her very well.
I think so too. Yeah. I'm glad you shouted this out because I think this has been probably one of the most polarizing records of the year.
Yes, I agree.
Which I ultimately think is kind of unfair because I don't think it's that polarizing. Like where I ended up on this is that I really like it. Like I have some qualms about it, but it's not like I dislike this album by any means. There are some hits on here, like House Tour
for sure
is incredible. What ended up leaving it off the list for me personally was I felt like the lows were just as low as they were on Short and Sweet. No, I think like the lows on Short and Sweet and the lows on Man's Best Friend around the same level, but Short and Sweet had such higher highs than the highest highs of Man's Best Friend. And so it ultimately just ended up falling a little bit short for me, but I think this is a relatively really great pop album, and I'm really glad you shouted it out, and I don't think it needs to be quite as polarizing as it ended up being just because it wasn't quite as much of a hit factory as Short and Sweet was. Like, I don't think we need to be expecting that from our artists every time.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, she's definitely here to stay. Like, she is a mainstay in the pop industry at this point. And one of the, I've mentioned this before, one of the only pop girls who I feel like really wants it. And I love it when a pop girl is hungry. Like, give me a pop girl who is hungry and wants this. And
I'll talk about that more with another artist, but I am not anti-ambition. I like when people are ambitious and going for it. So
me too, because it is a grueling job. Like, being a pop star is hard shit, and people don't want to do it anymore.
And once you get once you get the riches and the fame and the fortune, what is there really inspiring you other than your own personal drive?
Right.
Like, you have all the comfort in the world at that point. You could just hang it up, or at least check out. And, you know, it takes a certain kind of person to just keep going for it. It's exciting.
Yeah. Ultimately with her, like, I feel like she's taken the Rihanna model and is just dropping music every single year. And if she continues to do that, I will continue to eat. I will continue to be fed.
I want to be fed.
Maybe she becomes a huge singles artist like Rihanna did. And I think there's room for that as well. Like, not everyone needs to make like an album every time they drop. Like, sometimes you can just release a bunch of hits and call it a day. And if that's her lane, great. I'm here for it.
I would say her albums at this point are already better than most of them.
They're already better than Rihanna. Yes, I agree with you. That was kind of an exaggeration. But in terms of the rate she's releasing music, it's very similar to early Rihanna. Yeah,
for sure.
Okay. I will go to, did you do your standout tracks? I forget.
Yeah, Tears, House Tour, Nobody's Son. Yeah.
Okay. My number 6 is apparently my hottest take of the year, and I'm okay with that. I will take one hot take out of a lot of the albums I've named so far, other than maybe the Miley one, have gotten a lot of critical acclaim. This one has not. I don't understand it. I'm okay with that. I can live, because this album means a great deal to me. This is I'm Only Fucking Myself by Lola Young. I love this record. I know that you did not particularly love this record. I think you found things that you liked on it. Mm-hmm. For me, this is like top to bottom hits. Like every single song that I turn on, I think there's like 1 or 2 songs towards the end where I'm like, these are pretty good. The rest of them are like 9 or 10 out of 10 for me. Like just bangers on bangers on bangers on bangers. I think Solomonophonic's production is like, he does a really nice job of like blending her, like she's very like 90s grunge, UK grime, like that's kind of like her bread and butter. But Solomonophonic like adds in this layer of like sheen, like glossiness over top of it that kind of keeps it more pop, but allows her to still be like kind of bratty. And I think that's really fun to listen to the juxtaposition of that. You know, there's huge like rock songs like Can We Ignore It? The opening song is the brattiest of it all, which is God, what's the opening song called? It's escaping me right now. But those 2 songs are like really rock heavy. And then there's the power ballads, but Spiders, Post Sex Clarity, Penny Out of Nothing. But then there's like pop, like there's like straightforward pop. The lead single was One Thing. Dealer is a smash. Elton John even like did an interview with her where he was like, this is a number 1 smash in my house. He's like, this is like one of the best radio songs I've heard in forever. And it didn't really make it to making it that big on radio, but got the Elton John stamp of approval, which is pretty cool.
Which one did he say that about?
Dealer.
Okay.
Which is the 3rd track on the album, if you're not counting the like opening spoken word thing.
Is it Fuck Everyone or Fuck Everything, the first song?
That's it. Fuck Everyone. That's what it is. Yep. So it's just like, it's really bratty, it's really brash, but I just think she's a star. I think she's a powerhouse vocalist. She's got really great songwriting chops, and for me personally, I think this record does everything she does well exceptionally well, and I will wait here on my island alone for everyone to join me at some point, and I'm okay with that.
I'll revisit this soon.
Tracks.
Yeah.
Okay. Standout tracks, I named all of them already. Spiders, Post Sex Clarity, Dealer. Those are my 3.
Love it.
Yep. Love it. Wishing her well, by the way. I know she's had to take a step back from performing after she kind of collapsed on stage, so hoping she kind of figures that out and gets well.
Health stuff is so scary.
It is.
Okay.
All right. We're top 5.
All right. I'll start with the one I know will be higher on your list. This is Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party by Hayley Williams.
Love.
Yes. So this is the best Hayley Williams solo project. I maintain that this is not my preferred method of adjusting Hayley Williams. I prefer Paramore. Like pretty much full stop. I just like, that version of her better. But what I love about this album is it's so brutally honest the entire time. And I think as a songwriter, she's just like swinging. She's just standing out there pitch after pitch and just like trying to house these things. And I like that. I like that she's going for it. I like that she's just mining everything that's pissing her off or frustrating her or giving her a nervous tick or inspiring her or making her sad or making her happy. Like everything's on here. And I will say there are some songs I don't like. There is a pretty glaring skip on this album that we can discuss later, but for me,
I think I'm curious what it is.
What do you think it is?
I think is it Discovery Channel?
No, I actually like that one.
Okay.
A lot.
Because that was my initial, but I love that song now. Zissou? Or
No.
Dream Girl and Shibuya?
No.
What is it?
Brotherly Hate. I cannot stand that song.
Oh, I love that song.
What in the world? It
That
sounds
bridge
so
is so
weird. I don't
good.
like it. I don't like the sound of it. I'm like, ah.
It is kind of weird.
So it really throws off this thing for me. And I will say, while the marketing strategy was brilliant for drawing awareness to the project, it hurt my relationship with this project because I never thought of it as an album to begin with. It was released as a series of singles, and fans put them in playlists, and then she eventually released it as a project and then just kept adding songs to it, which is another thing I have a note on. But it did hurt my ability to connect with the project as an album, because I do like when an artist says, this is my project, here you go, this is how I want you to listen to it, please listen to it in that way, because I don't like trying to figure that out. I would just want people to tell me what I'm supposed to like, and I want to enjoy it in that way. So as an album, it kind of falls short in some areas for me. Again, it's too many songs, which I know we just recently praised about the self-titled Paramore record. That's a little bit different for me because that's a band trying to figure out what they are. And I guess in some ways she is trying to do that as a solo artist as well. Although she has the band right there. So I'm like, kind of, why don't you just do that? But it's okay. I'm really still enjoying this stuff. And there's some all-time bangers on this album. And just in terms of like banger factory, Hayley Williams never disappoints. So I got to appreciate I recognize the game, her game. I am familiar with her game, and she still excites me to watch her. So I'll say my shout out top songs are Mertazapine, which is basically a Paramore song. I love that song though. It's devastating. True Believer, which is, we've mentioned before, was on my top songs of the year list. And then Kill Me, because it is both clever, and I also really like the guitar line. So there you go.
The guitar line is sick on that song.
Stupid. Who is the main collaborator with her on this? He does a great job.
Daniel James. Yeah,
that's why he has our names, and it's a very boring name. So why would I ever remember it? Love his work on this album. It's really cool, and I hope they keep collaborating in the future whenever she's not doing Paramore stuff, because they have a nice blend.
They do. They have a great partnership. For sure. I love it.
I hope it doesn't sound like I'm dunking on it, because I'm really not. I really do like this a lot, and several of the songs I'm like, wow.
I hear all your criticisms for it as well. I think they're valid. But you'll have to wait a little while to talk about it with me.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure.
As you can probably imagine.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, I will go on to my number 5, which is This Is Where I Have Mayhem by Lady Gaga.
Nice.
I think you kind of nailed it. For the most part, I would say, she got a lot of criticisms for reheating her own nachos early in the year. But like, when your nachos are that good, like, why not reheat
them, girl?
Right? And we haven't had them in so long. Like, they're really old nachos. And like, I think somebody needed to revitalize those nachos, and she did it. And it sounds very, like I said earlier, healed. It doesn't sound like she's just like trying to cash out on that sound. Like, it sounds like a return to form, like a realigning with it. And also just like, it's so exciting to see her recentering herself in pop. Like, she has not been in the center of pop for so long, as other artists have kind of dipped in and out. And she's been doing kind of her side projects. It feels so good to have her just back in the forefront. Like, this was Lady Gaga's year. That tour went so hard. That Coachella performance went so hard. I'm still hoping for a Netflix release of that Coachella performance. But this was her year. Like, she was the pop star of 2025, I felt like. And that was so cool to see her in that mode again. And yeah, you nailed it by saying Mother Monster is back. Like, this feels so authentic to her, but also offering a lot of new stuff, like the homages to David Bowie and Prince and Michael Jackson. Like, that's all new for her, and just cool stuff, and just bangers on bangers on bangers on bangers. I share your critique that sometimes it feels exhausting to get through, which is why I don't listen to it top to bottom very often. But every time I pull out an individual song, I'm having the best time. So my 3, we actually share 2. My 3 are Abracadabra, Garden of Eden, and How Bad Do You Want Me? Those are my 3.
Also top for me. Also, I'll shout out Shadow of a Man too, which might have been my pick
good
if you went first. So yeah, that one really grew on me. That was not a standout for me at first, and then I'm like, oh
yeah, it's because it's kind of buried in a weird spot on the album.
It is, and again, it's just I'm so tired of listening to this at that point of the album.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. All right, you're number 4.
Okay, so number 4 for me is, if I removed all objectivity and just picked my favorite album of the year, this would be it. This is Who's the Clown by Audrey Hobert, an album I just really, really connected with. part of it is so again, I'll mention this again because I talked about it on our last episode, but for those who haven't heard, I had no idea who this artist was. Phineas shouted her out on social media. I started watching her videos, turn on the album, and the first thing it reminded me of was Rockin' the Suburbs by Ben Folds. There's some sound things that she does in it in the first couple songs, and it just triggered me into that place of like, I know exactly who this artist is trying to be. She's trying to be a singer-songwriter with pop sensibilities. And I was like, okay, I'm fully in. And like you said with the Addison project and why that was so successful, an artist in her debut telling you exactly who she is goes such a long way in terms of making an impact. And like, I learned much later that she was part of the Gracie Abrams project as like her lead collaborator and songwriter. This for me works so well outside of that it never even crossed my mind listening to it. There's a lot of journal-y type stuff on these songs that, you know, in different hands could be the Tortured Poets department, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
But there's something so carefree and just off the cuff about everything she's doing on this album that because it doesn't take itself too seriously, it's just kind of zips by and you're on to the next one. And I really just connected with a lot of the themes in this album about being in your 20s in the big city and feeling just left out and like you don't fit in and you're trying to make your stamp and it's just a confusing time. And it's just all over this album, the struggles of that, the achievements, the highs, the lows. And yeah, every song to me spoke to me. And that's so rare in an album. Yeah, I just almost never have that anymore. And so this is just up there for me. Now, I will say, and I think this is a valid criticism, that there maybe aren't any like excellent songs on this album. And but I think it has such a high quantity of really good to great songs that I think for me it's successful. But I'm actually really excited to see what happens next, because like while this album isn't Sour or When We All Fall Asleep, I think as a debut album it's really, really encouraging, and it makes me really excited for what this artist is going to do next. So anyway, this is my platinum in my house situation this year. And I'll just shout out 3 songs. Thirst Trap, which I mentioned before, my songs of the year list. Wet Hair, which is maybe the most like singer-songwritery song on this album that I really liked. And that way it feels like a B-side from like Plus or something, that Sheeran album. And then Sex in the City, which I know she just did a music video for. I have not seen that yet, but is a great, clever song. So
cool. I love it. I'm actually glad you shouted this out because this is getting a lot of love, as I'm sure that you've seen. People are really enjoying this record. I ultimately felt a little like meh on it. But I think if I gave myself enough time to really go back and dive into it, I would like it more. I do have a question for you though, because I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah.
I know that you are someone who is so not lyric forward.
Yes.
With an album this wordy, are you grabbing things or are you just like listening to the melody?
That's a fair question. On this album, I am grabbing things because of something about the way that she delivers her lyrics. It's so clear and easy to understand. So the storytelling is so front and center that I just pay attention to her for whatever reason. And that's really like Casey Musgrave, she has one of those voices that just penetrates. Like I feel like it's just going into me somewhere. And so when you have one of those voices, it really makes me kind of just do this and listen more. And yeah, I don't know. That's
really cool.
why.
That's very special. Yeah. I'm also excited to see where she goes next with this, because I think she's gotten a lot of great praise this year, and I think she's kind of in a position where she could do really whatever she wants to kind of push herself forward. So yeah, I think she's an exciting one to watch for sure.
For sure.
Love it. All right, number 4 for me. I'm surprised at how different we are on this record, considering we arrived so similarly when it came out, and this is Virgin by Lorde. I have it in 4th. That's really intriguing that it continued to just open up for me and continue to fall for you. Something about this, I think it's the opposite for me. The production works really well for me. I love how gritty it is. It's almost like metallic, very industrial sounding. And I think for the things that Lorde is saying on this record, she needed the space. Do you know what I mean? Like it's very stream of consciousness. It's very vulnerable. And I think the way Jimmy Stack kind of lets her shine above it and just kind of provides like a very simple but intriguing foundation for her to just like say her shit. It works incredibly well for me. We discussed probably a month, maybe 2 months after this record came out. We were like, we followed up with each other. Where are you on this? And I think at that point we were both like, we're not really returning to it a whole lot. After that happened, you continued to not return to it. I went the other way and just kept coming back to it. So it for some reason I needed a couple months to like listen to other stuff, but once I did that, I kept coming back to this one. And I just think there are some huge Lorde standout tracks on here, which I'll just name. My standout tracks are Shapeshifter, Broken Glass, and Hammer. I think those songs are just like generational runs for Lorde. Broken Glass, like I feel like I have listened to so much. It's so vulnerable and really almost uncomfortable to listen to as she kind of talks about her eating disorder, but it's also just like such an infectious song. Like I love, one of my favorite genres is cry on the dance floor. Like I love After Laughter for that reason by Paramore. You know, anything that's like so sad, but like laced with just like the most infectious melodies. That's my shit. I love stuff like that. And I feel like a lot of this record has that. So yeah, it works incredibly well for me. I think this is by and large her next best album after Melodrama. And yeah, I don't know.
I do agree with you there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if she'll ever reach the highs of Melodrama, and I don't know that I'm really expecting her to, but I like that she didn't just try to recreate that. She like gave us a similar feel, but did something really different with Jimmy Stack that she was doing with Jack Antonoff. So yeah, I love this record.
Yeah. And again, I had it an honorable mention. I still really liked it.
For sure. Yeah.
I'm happy you had it up here because I don't think it's getting hardly any love this year. I'm not seeing.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Even on, the fan ones on Reddit and stuff. It's just not showing up very much. But
yep. It's a bummer to me, but I will continue to dig into it. I love it.
Okay, sick. We're in the top 3. Here we go.
Top 3. Let's do it.
Okay, my number 3 is the biggest surprise of the year for me, an album I stumbled upon completely accidentally thanks to our fall preview podcast in which I thought this band was a different band. This is Getting Killed by Geese.
Geese.
This album is incredible. Okay, so I still don't think you would like this. I really just don't.
I'm going to talk about it here in a second. So I'm going to let you finish, but I'm going to talk about something that I need to talk about afterwards. I did not listen to it. Let me get that out of the way. I did not listen to this record, but I do have thoughts in a similar vein. So go ahead.
Okay. Well, I thought you were about to like have it in your top 3 and I was just going to like melt. But no.
Oh, certainly not. No.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so here's the thing with Geese. So we all experience music in different ways, right? Like different things do different things for me. Like a good pop song, like kind of tickles my brain, just, makes me happy. It's exciting. I like to think about how they did a clever turn of phrase or like engineered something that was catchy. Like, I love that. I like listening to like slow jazz music when I want to relax. It's just like, it's like a wave that passes over. Rock music just kind of like punches me in the chest and makes me feel like this. And I need that in my life. And this album makes me remember that that's possible again. I thought this was over. I really did. I thought in this world of everything being recorded to a click track and everything being engineered to be glossy and sellable and stuff, that this type of music was just not a thing anymore. But this is like people in a room together playing live with each other, sweating on the floor and just like having mastery over their respective instruments. And this album has everything. It has a singer with not a good voice, but a really weird one. And that sometimes works in rock. It's got a lead guitar player who just like has a really locked in sound, and they're just, identifying who they are throughout this entire project, kind of in the way the 1975 did early with their sort of guitar tone. It's just a different one, but it's very interesting and consistent, and I love that. The drumming on this album is absolutely excellent, like phenomenal stuff. And I think the bass playing is just like, it's in the background, but it just works. Everything just like kind of blends and fits together in this album. So, some notes on it. The reason I love it as an album is that the energy of it is so like tangible, but also they just know how to put together an album. Like there will be a song that's heavy and then it goes into a song that's pensive and then it'll go into a song with some energy again. And then it'll pull back and then it will get quiet and then it will get loud. And then so just like the interplay of that, I just feel like I'm being treated to a multi-course meal over the course of this album. And
that's cool.
A couple things I want to say about it. This might be the most beloved album of the year. I've been looking at a lot of lists and I see it frequently in the publications top 10 lists. I was going through the Indie Head subreddit the other day, which I know is like very friendly territory to an album like this. However, it was in almost every single top 10 list I looked through in that entire post. Benny Safdie and Paul Thomas Anderson, who might like win Best Director this year, were filming Cameron Winter, who's the frontman, sold out show at Carnegie Hall last week. I mean, this is like generational stuff in the making. The New Yorker had a piece yesterday called "How the Band Geese Won 2025." Like this is we're witnessing something. We're witnessing the next great rock band, and I am so here for it. I have to go revisit their older stuff because I believe this is their third album, but they're so young. They're all in their mid-20s. Just incredible stuff. The songwriting is so much more mature than that. I really don't know where it comes from. I will say songs to highlight for me are Trinidad, the opening track, in which Cameron Winter just keeps screaming, "There's a bomb in my car," which in our since deleted podcast, not deleted, but the one we lost, I mentioned is media. Exactly what 2025 felt like to me. I just felt like I was just screaming, "There's a bomb in my car" the entire year. And then the next song, Cobra, is a standout as well. Really melodic and pretty song. And then I really love the song 100 Horses, which is just it's everything I want from this album. It has like cool background vocals. It has like a really incredible lead guitar line. It's got a really just fascinating chorus and verse structure. It's so good. But I know people online love All Pays to Cocaine and Long Island City, Here I Come as well. I see those a lot as standouts. This was just, it floored me this year. In terms of like craft, this is tops for me.
You're not the only one, clearly. I'm seeing this everywhere, as you highlighted. Album of the Year, which is like a user rating website, has been around for years, I think. I think this album was like in the top 3 highest rated of users on that platform this year. So you are clearly not the only one. That being said, so I feel a little left out with this. However, I was looking through Pitchfork's stuff from this past year and stumbled upon how they were giving a lot of love to this solo album by an artist named Cameron Winter. And I was like, I have no idea who this guy is, but sounds cool. I think he had like one of their, like when they did like the best albums of the year so far, like halfway through, like his was in there, and then he was in their like end of the year song list. And I was like, I'm going to check out this Cameron Winter album. It sounds like it's a singer-songwriter sort of project. I was like, I bet I'll like this. I got through 4 songs painstakingly and said, I think I'm being punked. I must be being punked. Like someone at Pitchfork has been paid to glaze this, in my opinion, unlistenable singer. I could not believe how much I hated this man's voice. It was like nails on a chalkboard to me. I said, who is this? Who is being paid here? And lo and behold, it's the lead singer of Goddamn Geese. I had no idea. And I said, oh, I will never be listening to that album. And I will be so happy for all of you who love it. But that man's voice to me, I said, no, it's not for me.
Danny, you're missing the train.
I need to live with that.
This is David Byrne or Billy Corgan. Like, you don't have to have a good voice in rock music. You just have to have an interesting one.
And that's true. And maybe I'll like it more in a rock environment. Like
I don't know that I would love a singer-songwriter album from this guy. I can't imagine loving it.
It was rough. It was real rough for me. And I'm sure there are so many people who love it. So I'm not trying to dog on him too much. But maybe I would like it if there was more happening sonically with the instrumental. But the voice was pretty unlistenable for me. So I'm very happy for you, though. And yes. Clearly, I'm the unpopular opinion, and I will live with that.
It's okay. They'll put out a project in the future that you do like, and then you're gonna go back and be like, oh, you know what, Getting Killed is pretty good actually.
I'm sure that will happen. I'm sure you're right. Yeah.
Okay. Number 3 for you.
Okay. My number 3, speaking of unlistenable singers to some people, this is Eusexual by FKA Twigs.
Nice.
I know that you find her voice particularly grating in the way that I find Cameron Winter's voice. For me, this came out. Yeah. This came out January of 2025 and was my album of the year for much of the year. I would say things were, dipped in and out as contenders, but this is the one that consistently was at 1 or 2 throughout the entire year. And then like that Q3, Q4, 2 albums came in and usurped it. But the fact that this stayed at the top throughout the whole year really speaks to the quality of the record. FKA Twigs, I actually have recently gone back and listened to her old stuff. Pretty unlistenable. I'm just going to flat out say that. Magdalene is a beloved record in like the indie pop art pop community. I found it. Anyways, I don't understand. And that's okay because Eusexual, whatever she's doing here, is speaking to me in ways that didn't. I love the elements of trance here, which is a genre that really hasn't been around for a while. It's like very reminiscent of 90s, 2000s, but it's not something that you hear a lot anymore. I love that some of this is just like straight up techno music, which again is not really popular in the States. Much of this record feels like I'm dancing at like a grimy underground club in Berlin. And that's like really cool. But it's also not like super like 4 on the floor, like like it's very artful and whimsical the way she incorporates those elements. So she's kind of like taking her like weird avant pop and then adopting trance and techno to like make it more listenable. And I love that. There are so many standouts here for me. There's some weird shit like Childlike Things with Northwest is the craziest thing that's happened all year. Like Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's daughter was on a track, and that to me is like what's going on. But that's a super fun track.
I forgot they were married.
Yeah, isn't that wild to think about?
Oh my god.
Drums of Death is a crazy song. The drums go hard on that, obviously. My 3 standouts are Striptease, which I highlighted in our end of the year songs list, Perfect Stranger, and Room of Fools. Those are like the big 3 for me. Her voice is weird and at times like kind of unsettling, but I think the way she uses it is really masterful. It reminds me a lot of like Caroline Polachek, the way she does like vocal flips. Like a lot of what she's doing is like right on the passaggio of her voice, and it's fun to hear it break and not feel it. It makes it feel super alien, which I think is a big theme of this record. Is it feels very not of this earth, which I think is cool. So love this record. It's very eccentric. It's not for everybody, but it is for me. So
are you watching Pluribus?
I am not.
This feels like something the Hive Mind on Pluribus would listen to.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but it just does. It does feel alien. Like it feels like maybe you would listen to it in the Star Wars Cantina a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that for sure.
But I love how much you love it, and truly it has been your ride or die all year. So I love
all year. Yeah, I love it. All right, top 2.
This has been my ride or die all year. This is The Crux by Joe.
Yep.
Just an album that rips. I think Joe Carey is a sleeping dragon in the music industry. I don't know when the industry is going to figure out that he is the most undeniable superstar in the making that there is, but like they need to get on it because wow. I got to see them in concert a couple months ago. I just absolutely floored by them. And the fact that they could basically be playing anything up there, but their vibe and their energy is so infectious that I literally could have listened to them play trash. Like they could have just like banged on trash cans and I would be like, yeah, I'm in it. Cause he's just so charismatic and the songs are fun and the energy is incredible. I wrote, this is just a joyful listen. Like every time I put this album on, I'm just like, yeah, it's good. Yeah. And getting back to what you said about Addison, where she's like a real student of pop music, I feel the same way about Joe in classic rock. Like there are so 1000%. Many pulls from amazing classic rock songs in this album, and the way he distills them and makes them feel modern and it makes them feel unique is so impressive to me. I mean, every song is like almost like a journey through time in terms of different big artists at different points in the history of rock. And I just love that somebody's doing that right now and bringing that to the forefront. And man, it's just exciting stuff. I'm really excited for the next one because I think each album he keeps getting better and better songs. And so I just can't wait to see what's next. Highlights for me on this one: Potion, which I still think is the standout track. Gap 2 Smile, which is just a lot of fun. And then Fly, which is a really pensive, beautiful song. It reminds me a lot of Satellite by Harry Styles. They have similar,
I can see that
vibes.
I remember that one. Yeah.
But yeah, I just really love The Crux, and it was my number one for almost the entire year, and then something else beat it. But just a special album. Yeah,
you've loved this one all year, and I have a lot of respect for this record and what he's doing, especially after seeing him live at Lollapalooza. Incredible live act. And I will say Basic Being Basic popped up on my shuffle the other day, and what a hit.
Oh, that was probably my fourth. Basic Being Basic. It's so
great song. Yeah, he's got it. Whatever it is, he has it. And I'm glad that he's doing the indie rock thing in such a respectful manner. Like it's very you can tell it's very studied and not like put on. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love it. Very cool. Also great in Stranger Things.
Yeah, really holding the season together for me. Him and Maya Hawke.
Yeah.
I feel like some of the kids are just at the age where acting is hard, and you can kind of see it, but they're just incredible.
So good.
Nuts.
So good. My number 2, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I think this is probably your number 1. So
almost certainly.
If you want to tag on, go for it. But in number 2, I have Luke's by Rosalia. Okay. I correctly predicted that. So sorry to steal your thunder there. But
no, I do.
I think we talked a lot about this when we talked about our top songs of the year. This is an incredibly special record, like something that I've never in my life heard before. I think what blows me the most away with this is, like, for those of you who don't know, I studied music in college and was exposed to a lot of classical, a lot of opera, all that kind of stuff, and really resented it. As someone who is such a pop music lover, someone who did more like show choir rather than like regular choir, that's really what I wanted to do. And the fact that I was, subjected to all this classical stuff, I really resented it for a long time. And this album made me fall back in love with it and realize that I do have such a deep appreciation for that music, because we would have none of what we have now without it. And it really is the standard, right? It sets the tone for the rest of music history. And the way that she adopts it, but also carries in what we know now into what they knew then, and marries it in a way that just creates a portal into a new world where we blend it all together. It's gorgeous. And you don't need to know a lick of any of the languages that she speaks here to feel what she feels on here. I think the way that she captures the essence of a feeling just through the music and through her voice. I mean, holy shit. Through the music and her voice, it just it transcends language. Language is almost secondary here, even though it really is the forefront of the album. And she's been very vocal about how much she wants people to dive into the translations and really learn what everything means. Like, it almost feels inconsequential to me because the music tells it for me. That's how I feel. It's wild. I've never heard anything like this before, but please talk more about it, knowing that this is your number 1 of the year.
Yeah, so I'll briefly divert on a tangent. There's a thing going on in movies right now, which is Timothée Chalamet is now openly campaigning for the second year in a row for an Academy Award for Best Actor. Last year it was for A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan biopic. This year it is for his new film Marty Supreme, which is just about to come out, directed by Josh Safdie, in which he plays a tennis prodigy in the 1950s. And apparently the movie is both phenomenal and he's in every frame of it, like a true star vehicle type performance. And there's a contingent of people on the internet that are mad about him saying things like he wants to be the GOAT and he wants to, he's turning out great performances year after year and he wants to be recognized for that. And you know what? I'm not one of those people. I like ambition. I like people going for it. I like that drive, that just desire to be the best, even in an industry where, yes, art is art. But at the same time, like without boundary pushers, the whole thing just falls apart. You constantly need people to push the boundaries. And for me, Rosalia is doing that in pop music. I cannot imagine trying to sell this album to XX. You're coming off of Motomami as like one of the most marketable young stars in the world, and they just see dollar signs, and you're like, I want to do a classical string quartet album in which I interpolate 13 different languages, and every song is about a saint. I would have been like,
"Yep, are you crazy?"
What? And she just has the goods. She just delivers. This album is exceptional.
Yep.
I'm going to need literally months and maybe years to process it. Like I still haven't even like skimmed the surface, but I know it's good enough to just be the number one this year by default for me. And yeah, like you said, singing, like vocals, like what I haven't heard this in forever, like since Adele, really. Yeah. Adele was the last like mainstream artist that can sing like this. I mean, and Rosalia is honestly way more versatile of a voice. You could say Ariana Grande too. I would say like those three. Yeah. But oh my goodness gracious. Holy shit.
Rosalie is certainly the most trained out of the three.
Yes.
I mean, she feels so in control of that instrument. It's crazy.
Bananas.
Yeah, I agree. There's so many points on this album that like I felt what she was saying before I even knew what she was saying. And after I learned it enhanced it for me. One of the moments I do want to shout out that I didn't get to shout out last time was on La Jugular, when it's like towards the end when she's talking about like the small things within the big things. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And it just like rattles on and rattles on and rattles on. And as she discusses like the way we all fit into the world and how the world fits into us, it like grows and the orchestra grows and it just culminates in this huge explosive moment and then just all like fades away. Like that is the kind of shit that like we're dealing with someone that we will be discussing in history textbooks years from now. That's how I feel. I feel like she is someone that is going to be setting the tone for the music industry in this time period.
I can see this album being like the Lauryn Hill album.
Yeah, me too.
In terms of like lists in the future, like you just go, you're like, this looks.
And I will say that like I probably prefer Motomami. That just like sits more in the pocket of what I really love. But the fact that I can have both and love them both so dearly, like that is such a testament to her artistry, because in any other world that the same artist is not making those two albums. They could not sound further apart. They really could not sound. But they're both apart. It's really wild.
They're both her, which is crazy. She just contains multitudes. What are your top songs? Obviously, Reliquia. We both have.
Reliquia is my number one. My number two is Divinize. And my third is the fact that she wrote a classic Italian aria in the year of 2025 is Mio Cristo Piange Diamanti. It's just stunning. Absolutely
incredible.
Stunning. What are your three?
Reliquia as well. Berghain, which I mentioned before.
Yep.
And then La Perla, which is just such a funny song. And so playful. Great. I love it.
Having a big moment on TikTok right now. I've seen a lot of TikToks using
Good. I know she's performed that one live, but she did it on Fallon too. So.
She's pushing that one a lot.
I love that.
Yeah. She's going on tour. I wanted to get tickets, but she was never where I was going to be. Like we're obviously going to come visit you in San Diego next year. Guess when she's going to be in San Diego?
Like a week before or after. Yeah. Boo. That's bullshit.
And guess when she's going to be in Chicago, which is my nearest venue. When we're in there. Yeah. San Diego. So I was pretty devastated to find that out.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I'm hoping maybe it'll be recorded. That I can watch back later. But we'll see.
It needs to be.
All right. Well, I guess all that's left then is my number one, which is a surprise to literally no one. This is Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party by Hayley Williams. Since you were pretty critical, I mean, like in a rightful way, I'm just going to glaze if that's okay. I love it.
Please do.
This was immediately number one at the minute she decided to do anything, just because of my bias. However, I will say I was very fair with Petals for Armor and with Flowers for Vases. Petals for Armor, I think, landed number 3 for me that year. And I think Flowers for Vases was an honorable mention. So I can be critical of this.
Yes. Okay? And this is her best.
Let it be known. And this is like not even close to those other two records. Like this is like very fully formed when those were like kind of trying to figure it out. I think what I love most about this record is I can feel it as a longtime Paramore listener and ultra fanatic to that band. I can feel a shift in her writing style. There is a freedom here that I don't think she's ever allowed herself to experience. Like,
yes,
I think based on what I know of her interviews, the music, she's very precise when she writes, and she has a method, and she gets the instrumental from Taylor and she goes into a room alone and really thinks it through, right? This does not feel like that at all. This is like, I'm just going to vomit out everything I feel, and I'm not going to overthink any of it. Like, you can feel the freedom, you can feel the lack of overthinking here. And I think that's really special as a longtime fan of her. It feels very freeing to hear her in that way. So I do think that's largely why it's so long, is because it just like things just kept coming up that she needed to get out. And I also think that's, you know, largely why she decided to market it the way she did. I agree with you in that I prefer it when artists give me the full package and say, here it is, and don't mess with it. I think what made this different, other than just bias, I felt a love for community in this that I haven't felt in music in a while. I love how drawn out this rollout was. It felt very Brat in that way. Like, it just kept being exciting. Whereas like most rollouts these days, once the album comes out, we just like stop talking about it.
Yeah.
This was not that, very intentionally. I love that it was behind a password on her website. I love that it was like old school, like early 2000s, like downloadable files. I love that her whole website has been marketed like that to look like a 90s computer, basically. And I love that we all had to engage with each other to get the downloads off of Google Drives, and that we all had to engage with each other. Like, this is how I'm organizing it. How are you organizing it? Oh, wow. You decided to tell a story in sequential order. I went more by vibe of the sound of the music. And then for her to be so engaged with the fan base in that way, which, as far as like artists who are engaged with their fan base, bar none, Hayley and Paramore are the top. They just care about their fans so deeply. The way that she was like reposting people's playlists on her stories and saying, I love how you did this, this, and this, like so intentionally involved in that process. And like, it was always going to be an album. A lot of it was a marketing tactic, but I do also think that she really needed to just get it out and see what people made sense of it for her to make sense of it, which I thought was cool. It was a cool way of doing it. So although I usually prefer for an artist to just give me the full package, I loved how immersive and engaging this rollout was. And I love the track list that we ended up with. I think it's perfect. So not to mention, you know, Parachute came out later, then Good Old Days, then Showbiz, all three of those tracks, bangers. Like, there's just not a single miss on here for me. And I just love her writing style. Literally my favorite songwriter ever. And every single song is just like really, really special. And if I were ranking this amongst the Paramore albums, like this would be number 3. Like if I was putting all of Paramore's albums and all of Hayley's albums in the same bucket, this is number 3 for me. Like it is that serious for me.
Wow.
I love this record so goddamn much. It's very special. So there it is. There's my Glaze Fest. Enjoy.
Yay, we did it.
Oh, standout tracks.
3 songs. My standout
tracks. Parachute, which was my number 1 of the year. True Believer, and then my third is Whim. I love Whim.
Whim's
it's
really
like
great.
the one of the only times she's ever written a love song that is like not coded in like some sort of doubt. She loves to be like, I'm so in love with you. What if it ends?
Yeah. She's always
And this
hedging
one-
love. It's like,
Yes. What if I'm too depressed? What if we never come out of this? You know what I mean? It's always tinged with that. And this one is like very much like, no, I want to believe in us sans sabotage. Like I don't want any of that this time. That's a cool angle for her.
Yes.
To write about.
Okay,
So
we
there
did
we
it.
go.
Our top 10.
We did it.
I'll go through mine real quick. So At number 10, I had Moisturizer by Wet Leg. At 9, I had Mayhem by Lady Gaga. At 8, Alter Ego by Lisa. At 7, Smoochies by Ash Nico. At 6, Man's Best Friend by Sabrina Carpenter. At 5, Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party by Haley Williams. At 4, Who's the Clown? Audrey Hobert. At 3, Getting Killed by Geese. At 2, The Crux, Joe. And number 1, Luke's Rosalia.
Okay. My number 10 was Lotus by Little Simz. My number 9 was Addison by Addison Rae. Number 8 was Sable Fable by Bon Iver. Number 7 was Something Beautiful by Miley Cyrus. Number 6 was I'm Only Fucking Myself by Lola Young. Number 5, Mayhem, Lady Gaga. Number 4, Virgin by Lorde. Number 3, Eusexua by FKA Twigs. Number 2, Luke's by Rosalia. And number 1, Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party by Haley Williams.
I love it. Any other albums that you saw on a lot of year-end lists that you wanted to maybe shout out real quick?
Well, I was going to shout out the Geese one because that's getting a lot of love.
Mm-hmm.
Luke's, obviously we mentioned, but that seems to be like number 1 everywhere.
Those are the two I saw the
within
most.
the top 5 probably. I'm trying to think of any others that
I saw a fair amount of love for.
What about you?
Okay, Lou. I've seen a fair amount of love for Clips.
Clips, yes, that's a big one.
That one seems to be divided, but the ones that love it are like at number 1, you know?
Yes, yes, for sure.
A fair amount of love for the Turnstile album, which I did try to listen to, but it's like the antithesis of Geese for me. It's like very thought out and overproduced, I think.
Okay.
And too many sounds. So it's just kind of not what I love about rock. But I think I understand why people like it. It's very commercial.
Not a lot of love for The Weeknd, which I thought was telling. Really, people were not talking about that record at all, which I kind of agree with. But
I do too.
But I think we named a lot of the. I think Haley's album is getting a lot of love.
Haley's
I've not really seen a list without that in there.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, Wet Leg, as we mentioned, I feel like I've seen a fair amount of that.
Yep.
But yeah, interesting year. I'm happy that we ended up with the list that we did because that was a lot of fun. And I think I agree. We did hit. We have 3 the same: Mayhem, Luke's, and
you were right.
Ego Death. Yeah, those were the 3 I thought were going to be on both. But
I don't know that I expected you to have Mayhem. That's the one that
I understand that because I have been critical.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
But very cool. I love it. All right. Well, I guess briefly, since we've gone so long here, anything sparking joy for you that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I love the holidays. Just excited for some cozy time. Sarah and I just booked a baby moon, which is like a little honeymoon for before we have the baby. So we're gonna go to Big Bear for a few days at New Year's and do that. So looking forward to that. Again, looking forward to singing. I have a gig right after this, so I'm gonna get ready to go do that. But yeah, just happy it's here and we're doing this show, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, awesome. For me, holidays, I will echo that as well. It's been a fun holiday season this year. And then just kind of on top of that, we're excited here. We're gearing up for a kind of big home project. At the beginning of the new year, we're installing an electric fireplace and doing a whole like fireplace wall, and it'll be a really cool project. So we have officially all of the stuff we need for that project ready, and so we're just waiting on the contractor to get started, which is really exciting. But sick. I think, I'm just looking forward to hopefully a better 2026. I think 2025 was a little grim. I'm hoping for good things in the new year, which, by the way, a hopeful point going into the new year is, we had the good news coming out of New York with the mayor election. Yeah. And Indiana, little old red Indiana, decided to put their foot down and stand up against Donald Trump and our awful governor Mike Braun and say, no, we're not going to redistrict and gerrymander the state to hell. And I'm thrilled. I think we're making some good progress. Little by little, there's some hope being reinstilled in this country. So
I think so
grateful
too.
For that.
Any projects you're excited for next year that are already announced or you're hoping will be announced?
What was the one? Muna.
Yeah.
And end of story.
It just feels I think it's going to be Q1 too, which is really hell yeah.
I'm fairly certain Harry Styles is coming back next year.
Sick.
Excited for that. And then Word on the street is Phoebe Bridgers is probably going to make a comeback as well. I don't care so much about Phoebe Bridgers, but I always listen. So those seem to be the main stories right now.
OR 3 is probably coming.
Oh, and Olivia, duh, of course.
Yeah, that's probably going to dominate next year. For us. I'm also holding out hope, running a seance, whatever I need, that John Mayer might release something by the end of next year. We'll see.
I would love it.
This is the right timeline for him usually. So I could see him delaying one more year, but like, please, dude, come on. It's been a while. Yeah. He's changed a bit. I feel like he has new things to say. Please just like put it out there. I'm waiting.
I agree. I agree. I would love it.
But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot more marquee stuff next year. And of course, there's going to be tons of stuff we're not aware of yet. And that's cool.
Yep.
We'll probably get a new Taylor Swift album because that just...
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
And she can keep it.
Yep. Unless it's the 20-year re-record of Debut, which I would be interested in.
I would love that. I would love to hear that re-recording. I think that would be really cool. Yeah.
So.
All right. I guess that it closes the chapter for 2025.
Yeah, we'll be back in January with more. Everyone enjoy your holidays. Do fun things with your family, just enjoy your time, and we'll see you for more music stuff next year. Until then, thank you so much for listening to the Daily Record Spin.